G'day, greetings from Melbourne. Just a short video for the Your Selfie competition. So get your phones out and let's going. Just a bit about myself. I'm a smartphone filmmaker, and yes, I believe the best camera is the one that you got on you. And I'm quite passionate about smartphone filmmaking, so you can find me on Twitter. I'm Max Mobile. For your selfie video, the first thing I wanted to say, please, whatever you do, be COVID safe. And of course, we start your video with a selfie mode. I'm sure you know about selfies, so just let's get right into it. This is very much the most easiest way to think about smartphone filmmaking, so my advice is really keep it simple. One thing I want to mention right in the beginning is audio can also be quite important. So you see here I'm using my headphones. It has a microphone. That might be a great option to think about recording with a microphone if you have audio that is key in your short video. If you start recording the selfie video and there's lots of noise around you, that might not be so great. So either plug in the microphone or the headphone into your smartphone, and that way you've got a great microphone and you get great audio. If you're outside, try to be not in a too noisy environment, or maybe be inside. Depends on what your project is about. There's no right or wrong. Just give it a test to make sure that the audio as well works fine. For the filmmaking, we can use the standard native app that you have, or if you're really pro, you can go to Filmic Pro. But you can also use some very simple apps. We'll talk about 3 very brief editing apps. One that you could choose is Adobe Spark Video. It gives you some really good tips and tricks for story templates, and there will be a link down in the description so that you can, find more about Adobe Spark Video. Of course, a couple of things to check. Do you have enough space on your phone? My phone is always filled up. Just make sure that you've got, get some of the videos, get some of the songs, get some of the pictures off, that you can actually have enough storage space, even if it's just a short project, but like a computer, just make sure there's a bit of space. And of course, you want to check that your camera, your smartphone, is fully charged. Your short video should be 30 seconds. So maybe 40 seconds, but not longer than that. So we can really think about, if you try to break it down, if you wanted to start to think about what you film before you jump out and do it, so doing what you call like a storyboard, or maybe even want to write a little script, you just really have, if your 1 take or 3 takes, different sequencing, the different shots are 10 seconds, you just really have 3 of them, right? 30 seconds. Or if you think about 5 seconds, that means you've got 6. So that might be an idea to help you, that you've got between 3 and 6 different takes to produce one sequence. So again, keeping it very simple, it might be just done in 1 take, showing us the environment where you are and explaining your carbon action. Or you might want to start with a selfie and then do a little bit of filming and edit it down to 3 to 6 different sequences. Of course, the first thing that we said is that you introduce yourself in the selfie competition with a selfie, and then reveal your carbon action. So think a bit about what is the most important element in that carbon action. And also, we're talking about visual storytelling. So how can you visualize this? Do you have an object that you could film? Is there like a certain place that, has a certain meaning around this? And how can you inspire others? So just try to think about these elements. Another idea to get started is that you might use your standard app. There's some free apps for voice recording, such as Voice Memo, and you just give it a try to say what your 30 seconds voiceover would be. And then you can go back and find some pictures to that. That might also be an easy way that you can start working. So if you write a little script or have some notes, you start recording, and when you hit your 30 seconds, that's what you need, and then you can go back and find the right pictures to your recording. There's another one which is called Road Reporter, which is a great app. There's others that are free too. So let's just talk a little bit about the filming. When you hold your phone, try not to use your arm length too widely, because that will have any shake. So if you have a tripod, that might be useful, even like a small one, or just use your body as a tripod. So try to hold your phone quite close to your body. Use your elbows, chuck them in, and just hold the phone quite stable. When you swipe to video, you can just go and press the red button. and you start recording. But of course, there's also, most people don't know, on the iPhone, I'm sure it's similar on your Android device if you have, when you hit the yellow box, the square, you can then focus on different elements in your picture. And that's why what you tell us what is important. So always focus on the thing that's most important. And then the little sun next to it, you can dial it up or down, just push it up or down, which increases the brightness or darkness in your image. So very easy for exposure. But visual storytelling, focus on what's important, lock it, and then just check that everything looks great. One of the key things in smartphone filmmaking or filmmaking generally is the rule of thirds. To try to think about, you can also get this grid in the settings on your iPhone or your Android app. So it helps you to think about the composition, the framing. So we want to have normally the most important things in the center of your image, of your video. And the top line, whether you're filming vertical or horizontal, I don't mind what you do. Some people don't like vertical video. It's fine for me. What I'm trying to say though is, if you use one, stick with it. So don't try to mesh them together, except you get a good reason for that. And then on the top line, that's where normally you've got your eyeline match. So that if you've got different people or like just yourself in the video with different elements, just always try to align yourself on that layer with your eyes. And welcome to the world of filmmaking. Another thing that I think is really great for smartphone filmmaking is a super close-up. So with a smartphone, it's a very small lens, but you can go very close to whatever is important. And of course, a super close-up or close-up is great for showing us things that are really important in your video. Just try it out. For editing, you can use a VN video editor, which is free for Android and iOS. There's also Adobe Rush, which is my favorite app, which is free for iOS or Android. It's not available on all Android devices, but most. And it also has a desktop version, so you can edit it on iOS, PC or Mac, or some Android devices. And you have got 2 free exports. So, for this competition, it's a great way to get started. And again, there'll be a video in the descriptions to give you some more insight how to get, an intro to Adobe Rush. Please remember though that you can't just use anyone's music in your productions because there's copyrights. The music that you find in Adobe Rush, you can use though because that is licensed for this. Otherwise, you just need to look for Creative Commons. Just, anyone that is in your video, you need to make sure you get the permission for that person to be in the video. And, you can't just use anyone's music because that would be like stealing. If you're keen to find more about smartphone filmmaking, I just want to point you towards MENA, the Mobile Innovation Networking Association. Every year you've got a big screening, and we will be again at ACME in Melbourne, Australia this year. There's also, due to COVID-19, a virtual event, and we'll have an online screening. So if you're interested in smartphone filmmaking, check it out. And I have to tell you, if you want to learn more, my new book is also out, Smartphone Filmmaking Theory and Practice. So what I would say is go out, have some fun, try a little bit of editing, make sure it's 30 seconds, make sure you start with a selfie perspective in the beginning to introduce yourself, and then we want to hear all about your carbon action. Looking forward to see it.